Hello YouTube, Ken Hyo here with another Black Desert Online video for you, and today's video is going to be my leveling up guide for the Hashashin class in preparation for the release. I believe in 2 weeks. The season server ends early, I believe on the 26th of August, which is in a few days, 4 days. And then a week following, I believe, is when you guys will be able to play the Hashashin in the lands of non-Korea and the lands of non-console. So I figured now would be a good time to release these guides for you guys so you can be ready to prepare. So this week is going to be the leveling up guide, my tips and tricks, and which skills you should pick up first and things like that. And then next week, the awakening guide, and then following up the last video for the Hashashin here with the succession guides. Now keep in mind that I'm not a Hashashin main. I do not intend on making him my main, so my guides for the Hashashin are going to be more to get the ball rolling for you so that you can get started, have a place to get started and know some of the problems you might face and know what skills are better or worse in my opinion. So this is going to be, again, a guide for beginners just to get you started with the class so that you can save some time and some of the frustrations that I had with it. So let's get started here. Let me pull up my UI so that we can start talking about the class here. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you as part of the leveling up guide here is make sure you spend all your AFK time auto-pathing running to train your Hashashin stamina, or if you have those pinto juices or whatever kind of other method you can use to level up his stamina, because he runs out of stamina really fast. And that's actually just one of the recurring themes of the class is the lack of sustain. He has terrible sustain for his HP, his not very good sustain for his mana, and also not very good sustain for his stamina. I actually have one of my skill add-ons. I forgot which one, but one or two of them actually are stamina recovery add-ons, because I run out of stamina fairly quickly using his mobility skills. So this is a problem that you probably will face as well with the class. So just be prepared to train your stamina. Right now, my Hashashin is sitting at 450. But yeah, my Valkyrie, who's my main, she's got 530 stamina, and I never run out of stamina with her. So I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like a lot more. So it's probably a Hashashin problem. So yeah, also any crystals that you can afford to put for stamina gains on your boots. That might help a little bit. And yeah, I can't stress enough how much of a problem it is. When I had to, now I've been grinding in Fadus. That's why he's in grind right now. I've been grinding here in Fadus to try to get my potion piece, my mana potion piece during the event. And sometimes I get out-grinded by people because I run out of stamina and I cannot use my mobility skills to keep up. I can kill the mobs faster than them, but then they just jump ahead of me and I can never catch up. They just start pretty much auto-running with the shift down or just without shift down because I run out of stamina. But yeah, stamina, and sustain. Those are going to be your biggest problems with the Hashashin. So get ready to level him up, get some potions, there's those pinto juices or whatever other method you can, and buy some crystals for your stamina so that you can freely use your mobility skills. So the Hashashin mobility skills, really, you get this thing, and then this thing, and then this, and you can do this, and combo this, and then you're pretty much out of movement speed. And the spinning that I did there was from the awakening skill, so you're not going to have that. Two of the mobility skills are also two of his mana regen skills. So you're going to be using, which is this one here, and then this one here. The two of his mana regen skills. So you're going to be using those skills a lot. So he's going to be draining your stamina to recover your mana and also to get around the map a little bit faster. I don't know if the names in English have been posted on the video codex. I will check the names, and if they have been posted, I will make footnotes down here, or actually which way they are from the right of my camera here. Where your right, my left, saying the names in English of the skills. But for now, I'm just going to tell you the command inputs. So the first one is the tornado, which is this one here, which is just forward and right click. So this is a skill that you want to max out as you level up, because it's going to give you the mana regen, which you're going to need. If you don't use this skill, you're going to run out of mana really fast. And I also have a skill add-ons on this one here. Since you use it all the time, might as well stick some skill add-ons. And it's an 8-second cooldown, and the skill add-ons will be up at all times because you're going to be spamming this skill. and I put movement speed 4% and accuracy 3%. Accuracy is also pretty important because it does not have any inherent accuracy bonuses on his skills. So if you can squeeze a skill add-on with accuracy like I did here, it's going to be helpful. The only way for him to get accuracy is by using this skill here, which max rank, I believe, is going to give you 9%. But at level 5, you can get this skill here. It will get you, this is a kick, get you the only accuracy bonuses that you can get in the class. At least for pre-awakening. After awakening, you get some more. His passive does offer accuracy. One of his passives is accuracy. The other one is dodge or evasion. But as far as some classes have bonus accuracy on their skills, he does not. So I put accuracy here on the tornado. And the other mobility skill is this one here, which is just right click, but it's only a right click after some skills. It doesn't necessarily work. You cannot just use a skill freely. You have to use another skill first and then use this one. And as you saw there, it works after the tornado. So you can use these two skills here in conjunction to recover your mana. I'll show you one more time in case you weren't paying attention. So forward and right click for the tornado, and then you hold right click to tumble around, and you can recover some more mana this way. But as I said, you're going to be running out of stamina if you use this. You can see both skills. I used only 2 of them. I already spent about 20%, maybe roughly, maybe a little under 20% of my stamina. So if you're using this dash here, this dash uses a lot of stamina, and you're going to be spamming this quite a bit, probably. Right there, you see. So if you're using this, and then this, and then this, you can see that almost a third of your stamina went away. So you can only do this combo really 3 times, and these skills are pretty much your bread and butter. This dash is a stiff or a stun, I believe. Let's check. Yeah, this one here, it is a stun, right? So it's a very fast stun. So in PvP, you're going to be using this skill in PvP if you're grinding, if you do some PvP. But you're also going to be using this in PvE because it gives you a attack speed bonus. So as you just saw, 1/3 of your stamina every time you charge into a group of mobs. Probably a good idea to put as many stamina regen add-ons as possible in your skill add-ons too. I didn't go too crazy, but I probably should. Infinite stamina potion when? Perlabids? Only the Hashashins probably be grinding for the infinite stamina potion. But yeah, so, and also HP, right? HP is a big problem. The only ways for you to recover HP is this attack here, which is very slow. And you have to stand still, and it has no protection. And the max rank recovers 15 per hit. And you saw that the attacks are pretty slow. And he's got no protection whatsoever and no CC whatsoever. So it's pretty useless. This skill is pretty useless for the healing ability. It does have a DP debuff here, so it may be useful for that, and also to start some of the other skills that don't start on its own. They have to use as a follow-up skill. This one here, this skill here is pretty useful. And it's got a pretty good range. You can see how far of a reach this skill has. So this is your right click. If you just right click, you can see you hit those mobs all the way over there, and that was from here. Yeah, so if you use this skill, the right click skill after the back and right click, back and left click, if you do 2 hits and you right click, it comes out faster. Cancel the animation a little bit there. That might be a good reason to take the back and left click. Unfortunately, again, you have to do 2 hits of it in order for the animation to cancel. I'm not sure if it's worth the cancellation. You might as well just do this. It's not much faster anyways. Oh, the other heal is this skill here, which it's you got to use it after other skills, and the max rank only heals for 10 per hit. No. The bottom line is there's no way for you as a Hashashin to recover your HP. This one here is a vacuum. I don't really use this skill too much. It's kind of slow casting. It's a decent range. The damage is not that great. It's only 6 times 1000% damage. It does have 100% crit and a float. So if you have if you have the extra points and you want another vacuum, he does have quite a few vacuums already. I didn't mean to buy this skill, but and then this skill here you definitely want to get. This is your shift and right click, and it gives you a max rank here. It's going to give you a 30% crit chance. So you definitely want to use this skill here as often as you need to keep the crit buff. And the crit buff has got a 10-second duration, and the skill's on a 10-second cooldown. So pretty much at least every 10 seconds you're gonna be using this skill here, and it looks pretty slow, but you can actually cancel. I know if you do this, and you can, there you go. So it came out almost immediately there. What I did was a back and left click, which are those 2 swords here, and then I followed up with a space bar, and then follow up with a shift and right click. And you can see here You're going to see 4 attacks. The last attack is going to be the shift and right click, which is, if I just use it on its own, it takes very long to come out. And you can see it's a slash from the right to the left. Back and left click, space bar, and then shift and right click, and then it comes out immediately. A better way to cancel might be using the dash. You can also cancel that after the dash. So if I use, for example, let's see, if you do this, and then this, and then you dash, and then you hold shift and right click, you can see it comes out. I hit the tree, and you don't want to hit a tree, obviously, but if you're more coordinated than I am, I have better aim than I have, again, you can do this, and then dash, and then hold your right click, shift and right click, and it will come out immediately. And now you got here. So one of these is a crit buff. There you go, 10% because I don't have the skill leveled up because I'm playing in Awakening right now. So the other skill that is also pretty useful is your back and right click, which is he throws his little dagger, and that is useful because this skill is gonna give you a attack buff. So a max rank is gonna give you a plus 20 DP AP buff. And it's back and right click, like I said, but it's got a cooldown. You gotta wait for it. Apparently, doesn't have a cooldown. Does not have a cooldown. You can spam this, and you're moving forward a little bit, and you get the buff if you hit it. Now, there's a follow up to this skill, which is his teleport. So the teleport is gonna be this one here. You go right behind the enemy, you land right behind the enemy. This is probably more useful for PvP than for PvE, because if you do this in PvE, you're going to end up stuck in a group of mobs and not do a lot of damage with your AoEs. Because in Pre-Awakening, he doesn't have a lot of circle AoEs. They're mostly in front of him. And what you do is this, and then you teleport, and now you can do back attacks and things like that. So if you're playing on PvP, you should probably take this skill. It's going to give, as a float, and some air attack. The other problem that I have with the teleport is that it removes the attack buff, the AP buff, for some reason. So you can see if I do this just to throw the weapon, right, you get your AP buff here. But if you do the teleport, look what happens to the buff. It goes away for some reason. I'm not sure the logic is for this, but you lose the buff. So again, you definitely don't want to use this in PvE because you're going to lose your 20 AP. And you're going to be stuck in the middle of the mobs here. So if you're grinding a kind of a tough area, you might get stunned and knocked down and then killed. You can also cancel. I just used the shift and right click, right? So you can also do the shift and right click after you teleport. And it comes out immediately. So now if you want to do that, then you can get the 30 crit chance buff. I believe there's an add-on for this skill. No, it's an add-on for this skill here, which is the follow-up to your space bar. This hand hit that he does, the last hit. Show you again. This hit here. There's an add-on you can put there for plus 30 monster damage. So it's pretty useful, and you can use this skill here after the teleport. So it's kind of a trade-off, right? If you want to get your 30 monster damage, you can do this, teleport, and then hold your right click, get the AP buff, which I don't know. It's not showing because I don't have the add-on, but you can get, and you can get your AP, your monster AP buff, and your crit chance buff. But again, I don't know if I would recommend using this teleport in PvE because it's kind of a situation where you're going to be in the middle of mobs, and like I said, he only has one point blank or one circle AoE, which is this skill here. This is his only skill where he will hit mobs behind him, as far as I remember. So you don't want to be in the middle of a pack. You always want to be ahead of the pack, or in front of the packs or behind the packs, so they can use a skill like this one, for example, which is a pretty good skill to get. This is your shift and E. Definitely recommend this one. It's a lot of damage. And the shift Q is this one here. It's also another AoE that he has. You can see the range is not that great. If you aim it over here somewhere, yeah, you see the range is not very good for this skill. The shift Q, so the shift E is definitely better. And then there's another AoE which I don't have here, which is the one that he summons the tornadoes. Right, so the other one is this one here, where he summons the tornadoes. You can get this one. Not sure I would. It's okay damage, but it's kind of a long. It's the damage might seem okay if you look on the sheet here, but it's a very long cast, or you have to wait a long time for the tornadoes to do all those 36 hits. So it doesn't. You do have super armor while you're using this skill, while you're summoning them, which is great because it takes a while to summon them, as you saw there. You can cancel the animation with the shift Q a little bit. So I don't know if you noticed there, but he kind of stopped raising his hand there to use the shift Q. So this one, and you can see here, it kind of, I believe, it kind of just canceled a little bit earlier. So that's something. If you want to use a tornado, you can. Of course, you can couple that with a shift E for even more AOE. Right? If you do these two skills there, it's going to be a lot of AOE that you can do to a big group, but it also requires you to stand still for quite a long time. So it's going to be more of a high-end spot kind of skill. So you can cancel all of this. The shift E, if you kill the mobs, you can just dash and you will cancel it. You don't have to stay hold until the end. So that's good. This skill here, can you cancel out this one? Yeah. So this one you cannot really come out early. So if you once you stick your dagger, once you press your hotkey button here, you're stuck in the animation. So be careful. This is one of your best grinding damage skills. 12-second cooldown though at max rank. Don't know what the cooldown is at lower ranks, but it does pretty good damage, and the animation is fairly fast considering. It's at least faster than these other ones. So this one you gotta stay there for quite a bit. The other skill that you should probably take is the backflip here for the accuracy bonus. Right, you're gonna definitely want to skill this skill here, because like I said, it's the only way for you to get any accuracy bonuses as Hashashin, aside from skill add-ons and the passive. Now the forward and F, you probably want to get this for the mobility. This one also has super armor, and it does reduce the target's DP by 20, I believe, at max rank. Yeah, 20. I don't like this skill because it goes through mobs. If you watch my other Hashashin videos, you know that one of my biggest issues with him, besides the sustain, is that his skills he likes to go through mobs. There's no collision with a lot of these skills, so you can see that now on the other side here. I'm sure some people will like that. For me, I don't like it. It's bad for positioning, in my opinion, or for consistency, or for knowing exactly where you're going to land. But yeah, so the back flip, this one here, you also want to get. It's a fairly quick way to get an accuracy buff. You can see here. You can use it off cooldown, but of course the buff does not apply. And there's another little mobility way here, which is if you jump and attack, you got a little bit of a forward dash there when you jump, and you can couple that with your actual dash. So if you jump and just hold left click after the jump, you're gonna be going a little farther away. There you go. And there's another mobility skill, which is a teleport, which is, I believe, your shift and F, which you can hold for a little bit if you want, and then it teleports. The problem with this skill is the same. If you ever play Valkyrie, you got the same problem as a Valkyrie, which is if there's a mob right here and you want to go over there, you're probably not going to go over there, you're going to go over here. So it's hard to control exactly where you're going to land. Also, the cooldown is 13 seconds. So 13 seconds for mobility skill. I don't want to rely on this too much. It does give you a 20 AP buff at max rank. I'm not sure you want to wait the 13 seconds to keep that buff, especially because you can keep this if you use the back and right click for your AP buff. It's a lot quicker, it comes out a lot quicker, and you can keep it up at all times. Whereas if you use this one, the casting is longer, and also you cannot keep it up at all times. The spacebar skill here is good as a filler. It's got 100% crit chance, so it's okay damage, but you can only use it after certain skills, and the spacebar skill that I'm talking about is this one here. I used it a lot when I was grinding just because I thought it was cool, but I'm not really sure it is really worth it. The damage, like I said, is good, and it's a quick amount of damage, but it doesn't have a good range, as you just saw there. Right, it's not hitting any of those mobs behind there. The one way you can use this, the spacebar skill, is that you can combo after your shift and right click, so you can do something like this, and then follow up the spacebar like this. Again, the range is not very good, but it might be useful in PvP because it's a quick attack, and it does have a float and an air attack. So one skill that you can use while you're grinding, I just realized has a kind of a decent AoE range here, is this one here, which is your shift and left click. I didn't level up, I didn't really use when I was leveling up, but I just realized here that the range is not bad. Yeah, it does have a little bit of an animation here in the beginning, but if you use it after your dash, it seems like it's faster. It's not that bad of an animation anyways. And you can see here they hit all these mobs here with that attack. So the range is decent. It does 6 hits, I believe. Yeah, max rank, it hits 6 times. It's one of those that hit 6 times, and it's not one time. It's not one hit for 6 times the damage. So if the accuracy might be a problem there, So let me show you here what kind of a vacuum we're talking about. Let's see if what kind of range he has here. There you go. So he pulled them from quite far away, and he clumped them up together for you to be able to do all your damage that you want to do. And you can probably follow that up with a AoE skill. So something like this, pull them, and then you follow up with this skill that has a down attack, as you saw there, and it'll probably do a lot of damage and kill some quite big groups of mobs. Now you may be wondering, if you haven't read too much on Hashashin, if he uses casting speed or attack speed, because he has both attacks, physical attacks and spells. And I'll tell you that he uses attack speed and not casting speed. So if you're looking for buffs and things to give to him, that when in case that those matter, you know you want to get the attack speed and not casting speed. But yeah, I think that's most of the things here for the Hashashin. I'll put a little rundown here of the skills that I recommend on the side here somewhere before I go, so that you can have it all in one place without many issues. I will go over the combos and stuff for the pre-awakening skills when I actually do the succession guide, because you're not going to be spending too much time probably on the pre-awakening kit anyways, so I don't want to be going too much into details of combos and stuff like that. The videos are really long enough as it is. Alright, now as far as skill add-ons, let me go back to Grana so they can take a look at the skill instructor there, and we can go over the skill add-on choices that I made. Alright, so here we are, and the skill trainer here. And you can see here that I have the tornado skill, which is your forward and right click. And as I said, I have an accuracy buff of 3% and movement speed 4% buff here. The other add-on that I have is for the dash, his left click dash, and that's going to give you dodge or evasion 4%. And I have some stamina recovery here, like I said. And then the last one is your right click, the tumbling, that also recovers some mana. And for this one, I have some more stamina recovery here and some extra mana recovery. So, you know, the tumbling, between the tumbling with the extra mana recovery here and the tornado, you're going to be able to keep up your mana quite well once you get the hang of using these skills. And remember to use these skills. So, and you're going to be using these three skills all the time for the most part for the buffs and the mana recovery. So I figured these are pretty good skills to keep the add-ons. The other choices that I mentioned before, you can get that plus 30 monster DP on this skill here, and you can keep it up at all times because this skill here has no cooldown really. As long as you can use a spacebar skill, you can use this skill here right after and get your 30% or your 30 monster AP, which is pretty huge, pretty useful too. I don't have it right now. I had it when I was grinding in pre-awakening. But now that I have Awakening, I don't really use this skill at all. And this skill here also actually gives you 5% accuracy. So if you want to take this with the monster AP, you can get your accuracy increase here as well. Sadly, there are no HP recovery add-ons on any of the Hashashin skills. This is your accuracy skill here. This one can give you your PvP buff. So this might be a good skill to put your PvP buff on. This is your back and F, which is a back flip kick that gives the accuracy bonus, as I mentioned. So you can get your 10 PvP buff here, PvP damage buff, and some 5% accuracy or a movement speed buff. Another interesting option here might be your shift and a left click, because you can give you a 25 monster damage and 4% accuracy, also pretty good ones. And the shift click is the one, shift and left click is the one that he does a little wind up animation. He vacuums and then he slashes with his sword. So it might be a pretty interesting one to get here. These are good buffs, accuracy, and 25 monster damage is not that bad. It might be better actually than this one for the 30 damage, because this one you got to use 2 skills to get it. It might be a little annoying for you to use, whereas the other one, the shift and a left click, you can use it fairly easily, and it's a 10-second cooldown. And the buffs, this buff is only an 8-second cooldown though, so it's not going to be up at all times, but the accuracy buff will. The other option would be your shift and a right click, which is your 30% crit skill, which is you're also going to use at all times. This you can get evasion buff or accuracy buff. So the accuracy buff might be useful. Don't know about the evasion buff, but yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to cover about the Hashashin pre-awakening leveling up guide. Here we talked about his sustain problems, so be ready to buy lots of potions and be ready to train your stamina. Forget AFK cooking. If you're going to be a Hashashin main, you're going to be doing AFK running for quite a while until you get a good level of stamina. And we talked about, as far as gearing up, you're going to need your attack speed crystals and not your casting speed crystals. I showed you the skills that I think are important that you should get. Didn't show you any combos because, like I said, we're going to be going over those in the succession guide, because I'm going to be going over those combos twice, and you're not going to be spending too much time with the pre-awakening kit anyways, so they'll just make the video way longer. And then we talked about the skill add-ons. If you have any further questions about the Hashashin pre-awakening and leveling up process, anything that I forgot to cover here, I talked a lot already, so I might have forgotten some things. If I did, I apologize. Feel free to ask questions down below. But as always, if you liked the video and thought it was informative, I would appreciate if you could hit that like button. And if you want to see more video content from me, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, we also have the join button now. And also don't forget to come join our Twitch streams and our Discord community. Links for those things down below. But that's going to be it from me from now, and I will see you guys next week with the awakening guide for the Hashashin. And while I wait for that, don't forget to check out the patch notes videos on Wednesday. Every Wednesday there's a patch notes video from the Korean server, so you can know what's coming in the future. All right, but that's going to be it from me from now, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.